بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نعمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت وباركت وتعاليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Assalamu alaikum ya Jama'at al-Muslimin. All praise due to Almighty Allah. He is the one we sing for help. He is the one we sing for His forgiveness. May Almighty Allah forgive our sins. We now sing for His refuge from the evil of our acts and from our bad deeds. Anybody that Almighty Allah have guided to the right path, nobody can make him to go astray. And anybody that Almighty Allah make to go astray, nobody can make him to the right way. And I declare that there is no any God that is worthy to be worshipped except Almighty Allah, and that Muhammad ibn Abdullah, the son of Abdullah, is the messenger and the servant of the Holy Prophet. Is the servant of Allah, Almighty Allah. May the peace of Almighty Allah and His mercy and guidance be upon to him and also to his family and members, as Almighty Allah have granted His mercy and peace upon to the noble Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam, and also to the family of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. I hereby greet us with the most greeting, that may the peace, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, may the peace of Almighty Allah be upon to every one of us. Amma ba'd, and today we shall be taking another interesting topic today, and our topic today is what we meant by al-mawdu' al-yawm al-hadarat wal-islam, that is civilization and Islam. What the impact of Islam to civilization, the impact of Islam to civilization. So I will try to break it down. Inshallah, may Almighty Allah make it easy for us. Inshallah, Allahumma ameen. What did we mean by Islam? Islam, as you have known, is a religion of what? Peace. And Islam deal with when Almighty Allah, when they ask about the meaning of Islam, akbirini anil Islam, tell me what Islam is made of. What is the meaning of Islam? In his hadith that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he said, Al-Islam at-tashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah wa tuqimu salat wa tuqti az-zakat wa tasumu ramadana wa tahujja al-bayti lima stata'tu ilayhi sabila. He said that Islam is what? Is the declaration that there is no Almighty any God that is worthy to be worshipped except Almighty Allah, and that Muhammad is the prophet of Almighty Allah, and we should be praying with the 5 daily prayers. We should be removing from our money to offer zakat. If you don't have the money for zakat, you should do sadaqah. We should go to we should fast in the month of Ramadan, as you have known that the month of Ramadan, we are now in the month of this mercy, the month of al-barakah, the month of شهر رمضان شهر رمضان مرحبا مرحبا يا شهر رمضان شهر الرحمن مرحبا مرحبا. May Almighty Allah make us to witness the end of this month. Allahumma ameen. Now and tahajjal bayti lima stata'tu, and we should also go to Hajj by following the will of Almighty Allah. If you have the capability, if you have the strength, to go and perform the obligation of what Hajj. So in short, that's what Islam is, and Islam deal with what the art of what of sustaining from any form of shirk, because Islam deal with what wahidul qahar, that is the worshipping of Almighty Allah alone. A Your tawhid with Almighty Allah, we should be it should be in form of what oneness of Almighty Allah. That is, Almighty Allah did not want any partner with Him, so we should not make any partner with Almighty Allah, and we should follow the commandment of Almighty Allah, and we should also desist from what Almighty Allah make, that this thing is what is forbidden for us. We should not go in searching for it, or we should not even go in looking at it. Now that we have now what remember Islam, now let's now look at what we remember Al-Hadarat. Al-Hadarat in Loga, it means civilization. Al-Hadaratu, it means what? Civilization. So now, what did the perspective of scholars on Arabic tell us about the meaning of civilization? That is istilah. That is, they said ta'riful al-hadarat. The meaning of what al-hadarat, that is civilization, is what al-hadarat iya jumlatul muzahir الراكي على عمي الفمي والعدبي والاجتماع والاجتماع في المجتمع في مستعات أو في مستعات منصبة. That's the meaning of what civilization. That is, civilization is a what is a set of what al jumlatul muzahir al-raki, is a set of features including what the scientific, the cultural, that is al-alami, al-fami, the literacy, and the social what advancement in a social in the society, or what in similar community. That is what we are trying to tell us about civilization, is that civilization deal with what some of features that include what the scientific and perspective, and the cultural, that is the cultural al-alami, the culture, and the literacy, and the social what advancement in the society, or what in other similar what community. That's what is meant by civilization. Now, that we have known the meaning of Islam, and we have known the meaning of Islam, and we have known the meaning of civilization. Now, what is the impact? What did Islam brought as a way that it can make us to do what? To meet and to conquer what civilization is on. That is the principle that Islam impart on what in the civilization. What did the Islam brought about what civilization? That is the civilization in terms of what Islam. What we mean by civilization in terms of what Islam. But before we go there, I want to ask: are we following the commandment of the Islam in terms of civilization? If yes, if we are following it, we must meet the criteria of what I intend to the five uh, criteria or principle that the Islam brought as what is civilization. But if we do not meet the criteria, that means we are not what civilized. So if we are civilized, we must meet what? The criteria that the Islam brought. That is the Sharia. Because Islam is talking about the Sharia. And what is meant by Sharia? Sharia is talking about the Holy Quran of the Almighty Allah and the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad. So Almighty Allah said in his ayah, that is أعوذ بالله من الشيطان بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لقد جاءكم من الله نور الله العظيم إذ يقولون يهدي به الله من اتبع رضوانه السبل وكتاب مبين السلامة ويدخلهم من الظلمات إلى النور بإذنه ويهديهم إلى صراط مستقيم. The Almighty Allah Azza wa Jalla, he said that indeed there has come to you from Almighty Allah a guidance for those who what seek what a good what precious to a way of what peace, and he bring the motless of what darkness by the will of Almighty Allah into what light, and guide them to the what to the straight what way. That is, Almighty Allah has brought Islam to be a guidance for us, to impart us, to make us to be wise, to make us to bring us from the darkness into what? Into lightness. Into what? From darkness into what? Lightness. Into lightness. So that's what Almighty Allah said in one of the verses of the Holy Quran. So now let's now look at the what Islam civilization is based on. That is what we are expected from us to that Islam for that we call what civilization. Is it that civilization is made up of what we are, what we think it is, or what in our own perspective? But I will try as much as possible to break, inshallah, into in the principle that the Islam impart on the world in the seventh-day civilization into 5 places. Inshallah, may Almighty Allah would make it easy for us. Now, the first impact of Islam into civilization is what? Al-Aqidatil Tawheed. That is the monotheism. That is the oneness of Almighty Allah. Islam was established as a concept of what? Monotheism. That is the oneness of Almighty Allah. That is Almighty Allah. It was addressed when it was addressed as a what? Polytheism of Mecca. That is, they are worshiping different type of God. They are worshiping different type of God. Some of them they will carve one of their father statues. They worship someone, another person. They will worship different type of God. So the Islam was now established to what? To conquer them from the darkness into the what? Into the lightness. Reminding them that it was not enough to believe only in the what? In the oneness of what? It is enough for them to believe in the what? Oneness of what? Almighty Allah. That is, Almighty Allah is the what? Is the Lord. that do what? That create everything, that make them to be, that provide for them. However, the acknowledgement of the oneness of Almighty Allah must be what? Related with the what? Worshipping of Almighty Allah alone. That is, La ilaha illallah. When you are declaring that you want to be civilized, you must declare that what? There is no everybody, any God that's supposed to be worshipped except Almighty Allah. And when you are declaring it, you must not say it by only your mouth, but what? Follow the deed of what? Tawheed al-Aqidah. That is the oneness of Almighty Allah. The oneness of what? Almighty Allah. Because the oneness of Almighty Allah imparts the what? The positive impact that one submit itself to the oneness of Almighty Allah, it will make a person to be fear of doing sin. When you believe that there's no God except Allah, and is the one that can see everything that I'm doing, so let me don't do what? Evil. So are we now following in our country? Are we following the oneness of Almighty Allah? If we are following the oneness of Almighty Allah, why are we killing ourselves? And we are calling that the civilization. Why are we doing bad things? Why are we doing zina? Why are we smoking? Why are we talking bad things about ourselves? It's because we do not follow the commandment of Almighty Allah. We do not believe that Almighty Allah is one. You see, some people will even be saying it, that after I worship Almighty Allah, I have to do what? The Yoruba will say, I have to tend thee. When you are akida with Almighty Allah, is not what? It's not stand. Does not stand. You are looking for money, and you don't know that if you are looking for money, you have to work for the money and what? Call Almighty Allah for it. You are waiting for one juju to provide money for you. That's laziness. So if you are believing in the oneness of Almighty Allah, so you have to sustain from any form of evil, any form of distraction, any form of mentalities of what? Service interest. You have to do what? Justice. You have to be truth in because of what? In cover of Almighty Allah. Now that's the first one. That is al-aqidatu tawheed. The second one is what? Al-hadl. That is justice. The civilization we are calling the Islam. What's Islam being part on the civilization is what? Another one is what? Justice. Are we justice to ourselves? Is our leaders justice to us? Is us to justice to one another? Let's ourselves. Are we justice to one another? And Almighty Allah said, Inna Allah ya'muru bil adl. Indeed, we have what? Command you to do what? Justice among yourselves. Almighty Allah is also telling us that يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامكم لله الشهداء بالقسط ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم على ألا تعدلوا أعدلوا هو الأقرب للتقوى واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. Almighty Allah is telling us, you who believe, Oh, you who believe in oneness of Almighty Allah, stand up, stand up, be straight in what? In witness with what? Your Almighty Allah, with what? Justice. Be in good mood with your God, with doing justice, and do not hate anybody from preventing you what? To be justice. Don't say that this person is not good, this person is bad, so I will not do justice with him. Islam does not permit us to do like that. Islam does not allow us to do like that. Be justice. Because what? This is the closest what? To the righteous. When you are justice, it make you near to what? The righteous. Fear Allah. Ittaq Allah. Fear Allah. Ya Jama'at Muslimin. Fear Allah. Ya Jama'at Muslim. Surely Allah is what? Aware of everything you do. If you do bad, Allah is aware of it. If you do good, Allah is aware of it. So why didn't you just do good? Why didn't you just do justice with people? Our president, our senators, our governors, we have given you a manner for you to guide us to the right path. Are you guiding us to the right path? Let's ask ourselves. Please, let's do justice for one another so that we can see what? Mercy from Almighty Allah. If we are doing justice to one another, it will make us what? Be in a peaceful of mind. The third one is what? Al-ilm, knowledge. As you have known that Almighty Allah has commanded the Prophet Muhammad. He said in one of his surahs, Ikra. Ikra, read. That you know. Ikra, sing for knowledge. Bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Read in the name of your Lord that created you. Are we seeking for knowledge? Are we looking for the knowledge? Let's look for the knowledge for us to have more on how to develop our country. When we lack knowledge, that's why our country is not what? Development. We have to look for knowledge so that our country will be very more civilization. We have to look for knowledge so that we will be in a great what? Impact in terms of what? Be successful in this world and in the year after. Almighty Allah, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we say, seek for knowledge. Even if you say you go to China, look for knowledge. Don't be what? A jahala. Don't be what? A jahala. That is a nonsense. A person that does dollar, does not know anything. Imam Ali, karamallahu wajah, he said, Al-ilmu, a knowledgeable person, is a what? Is a person that is existing. But a jahalan is a person that what? Is a dead person. When you know have knowledge, you are a dead person. So let's seek for knowledge. For us to do what? To increase our what? Civilization. The fourth one is what? Akhlaqil al-fadalat. That is good moral value. Is our behavior good enough? Have you not hear what what the Prophet Muhammad did that make people to enter Islam? If you can look back to the Prophet Muhammad through his life, what make people enter Islam is because of what? His good behavior. Are we doing good to our people? Are we good to even ourselves? That is, Prophet Muhammad said, Inna bi'athatil ummati makaron akhlaq. That is, I was sent to my people with what? A good behavior. To complete the highest what? Good morals. Prophet Muhammad talk about good behavior. Are we following the good impact of Prophet Muhammad? If we are following the good impact of Prophet Muhammad, that means that our civilization will be what? Our country will be developing in terms of what? Civilization. And the fourth one is what? Al-amal, work. Are we working? Let's tell the truth. We are all lazy. Our former President said all youth are lazy. It's true. You don't want to work again. You just want to sit down and make money. You want to be doing yahoo yahoo. Is it good like that? You say seek for knowledge and work. Even the Prophet Muhammad, he does not say that Almighty Allah will provide for him. He still what? He still work. When he seek for knowledge, he still work. Are we working? Look for how you put your hand into your mouth. Almighty Allah said, وَاللَّهُ الَّذِي جَعَلَ لَكُمْ الْأَرْضَ ذَلُولًا فَامْشُوا فِي مَنَاكِبِهَا وَكُلُوا مِنْ رِزْقِهِ وَإِلَيْهِ النُّشُورُ. Oh, He is who made the earth easy for us to walk on it and also to do our agriculture and also to work on it on the path. He said, eat on his provision, and he is the one that we are going to what? Go back, resolute back to him. That is, Almighty Allah made provision for us. So how can we see that provision to enjoy? It's our of singing for knowledge about the provision and working towards it. Like a person want to be successful in life, and you sit down there. You sit down there praying early. You have to work. You have to do what? Work. Struggle. There is one scholar, Imam Shafi'i, he said, دام أيام تفعل ما تشاء وطيب نفسه إذا أحكم القضاء. He said, دع أيام تفعل ما تشاء. Leave the world. Let it be doing how you like. وطيب نفسا إذا أحكم القضاء. ṣùgbọ́n make sure you work for yourself. Find a life for yourself so that you will enjoy in the life and hereafter. The Prophet Muhammad said, prepare when you have strength. Use it to do what? To buy your sickness. That is work. When you have capability to work, not when you are old enough, when you're supposed to be reaping what you have sown. You will not be working by that time. It's not wrong. It's wrong. So in shortly, has the 5 impact of Islam in civilization. Yeah, Jamaatul Muslimin. If we can impact these 5 in our civilization, how did you think the country will be? The country will be very good. The country will be very developed. Let's take a look at some country that not they are not they are not up to Nigeria because of their adili, their their, their equality among the what their leaders and their followers. See how their country is very developed. But Nigeria, we are selfish enough to assist one another. We lack knowledge. We are too lazy. We do not even believe in God. Some of them did not even believe in God. Some of them, after they believe in God, they will still be calling one Babalawo to come and help them. Herbalist. Shirk Billah. And Almighty Allah said he ate one of the biggest sin. He ate what? Shirk to Allah. We ate what? Shirk to Allah. Shirk. That is, you should be associating partner with Allah. I mean, Almighty Allah. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Rabbil Alameen.